This is a HeadGum podcast.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to A Funny Feeling Podcast. I'm Betsy Sidaro.
And I'm Marcy Jarrow. This is a podcast where comedians tell us their paranormal experiences, and we listen to yours as well.
Oh, yeah. And if you have one of these paranormal experiences that you want to share with us, please email it to us at funnyfeelingpod@gmail.com.
Now get cozy.
And prepare yourself to be scared silly.
This is a Funny Feeling podcast. Betsy.
Oh, yeah. Marcy.
How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Have anything
I'm doing fine.
spooky?
Nothing spooky, really.
Okay.
How about you?
Did I don't think I did. Did I tell you about my dinner with strangers that I do
No.
occasionally? It's an app. This is not an advertisement. Although if they wanted to sponsor us, fucking come on.
Come on.
They should. I think it's a really interesting concept. But there's an app that I have called Time Left. And it is a Parisian company.
Ooh la la.
And I only know that because I'm like, what's this? Why did I get a charge from Paris? Oh,
Funny.
So it is an app that it's not in every big city in America, but it is an international company. So you can use it traveling. But they do have it here in Los Angeles. There's a lot of cities that they have. So, and it sets you up with 5 strangers to go to a dinner. And
What?
Los Angeles is very lucky. It's always on a Wednesday night at like 7 p.m. So it can be hard to like actually schedule it. But occasionally I will do it, right? And LA is great because it has, you know, the West Side, WeHo, East Side, Pasadena, downtown, North Hollywood.
And you can pick those sections?
You can pick the area that you want. So
Great.
and then you kind of get matched up based on languages spoken and sort of aged and kind of.
Yeah.
And then it's not a dating app in any way, although I guess some people kind of are the hope that they meet someone. But
Right.
And after dinner, they have drinks in an area. Because, like, let's say that you and I both did it. We still might not go together. We still might go to different restaurants in that area. And there might be different tables, too. Like, so I did it, and there was a table next to us who were also doing the app.
Doing it.
But, like, and my friend Bridget and I have done it, and we were at different restaurants, and then we met up afterwards at the bar for drinks, and so you can meet more people. So it's just a way to, like, meet people. And again, it's called Time Left. They don't sponsor us.
Fun.
So I went to Pasadena. I was trying to see what the vibes are in different areas.
Yeah, that's fun.
And so interesting people. It was only 4 other people there. One guy talked a lot about puppetry.
Yes.
And
dude.
he told us about a near-death experience, but I don't think he I think he might have just passed out. Nothing happened to him medically. But
what
whatever.
made him pass out?
He was just like hanging out with his girlfriend, and he laid on her bed, and then he's like, I saw a bright light. I was like, I think he just passed out, but whatever.
Wow.
That's
funny.
not the spooky thing. So 2, I like mentioned that I had this podcast, and I was like, I always love asking people if they have ghost stories. And one woman said, oh, I have some. And then another man who not a past life like he's lived before, but in a earlier time in his life, he was he worked in ministry. Like he is a man of the cloth, as they say. Like he retired now, worked is in a different field. But so the lady told us her stories first, and she was telling us about. I think after her divorce, she like moved into her mom's house, and there. What was also cool is almost everyone was a SoCal, like born and bred person.
That's always fun.
And I always love that because I think people who are actually from Los Angeles are awesome. And it's it's transplants that are always kind of have a bad attitude about stuff. So not always, but when you meet people and you're like, they're flaky and I don't like them, it's like, well, they might not be from here.
Right.
The SoCal people, though, I always find to be wonderful people because they've lived in sunshine their whole life. They've blessed experience. So she told us a few stories, and I'm not going to remember them all, but one was like that she or her daughter would see like a little girl outside a bathroom.
Ew.
And then one was really scary that she saw what we would all like. We all hear the stories about a shadow man, right? She said, but when she looked at him, he raised up his hand and there was a knife in it.
No.
And he ran and came down at her and she just screamed and it disappeared. And I was like, what? I have never heard anything that scary.
That is so scary.
And she did say that that kind of came after a mysterious death in her family in another country. And she was like, I hate to connect those things because but I was like, I know what she's saying. She's saying, was there like some malevolent thing involved? I was like, that's not just ghosty. That's one of the scariest things I've heard. Like,
and we've never heard that before.
I was like, I hear so many stories about shadow people. I've never heard one where when you looked at it, it ran at you with a knife.
That is so scary.
And so the guy who used to be a minister, he was like, well, that's scarier than mine. And then he proceeded to tell us a story about a woman at church who was possessed. And now I think the actual church part of the story is scarier because he and some other men from the church took her to a shed and performed an exorcism over 7 hours. And I was like, I can't think of anything scarier than a bunch of men from church dragging me to a shed in someone's backyard.
I'm gonna start puking and speaking in weird names if that shit happens for sure.
And she was like growling and stuff and like
get away from me.
But he told us a story of this exorcism and that that she just would she would basically scream and fight and then tire herself out and then wake up and do it again. I was like, but that kind of sounds like you kidnapped her. So I don't know. Both of them were very spooky. But I was like, this is a really fun time left dinner for me because I got to meet these interesting people. And one of the other women worked for this security guy. I've already talked about this on another podcast. Gavin DeBecker, who wrote the book The Gift of Fear, which he worked in intelligence or FBI, I think, and he focuses on security for high profile individuals and also just regular folk who are having problems. And she was telling us nothing too NDA, but I was like, this is a fascinating. And then the man who really talked about his life in terms of before and after he did puppetry.
Very scary.
I was like,
before and after puppetry. What a fun dinner. What a weird fun dinner.
It definitely was everyone was fascinating, not necessarily lifelong friends, but I was fascinated by everyone. So
wow. And is then if there was somebody really rad, you'd be like, hey, let's hang out again.
So after dinner, you can go back to the app and you can say who would you have dinner again with, and you can pick people. Now
and they might set you up again,
or you can just be in connection with them.
Cool.
So I mean, I've not forged any lifelong friendships yet, but if you talked about something at dinner, you're like, oh, I want to follow up about this thing. Now, they have to like you too. So maybe it's a bit of a rejection thing too. If you're like, oh,
okay,
not everyone wanted to be my friend.
But they weren't into it.
But truly, the woman with the shadow
Yes.
person, knifer.
Dude.
Too scary.
That
Knifer.
is so running at you with that is so scary.
Get
That's
out.
too
How
scary.
actually dare you?
Don't you dare do that, Shadow Man.
How dare?
Just wear your stupid hat and just stand at the end of my bed. That's it.
Fucking hipster.
Yeah, you damn hipster. With your Mumford and Sons songs.
Mummy and Funds.
Mummies and Funds.
Now, I have a few longer listener stories that we could dig into if you're...
I'm here for it.
Okay, I'm going to pull... Actually, this one is just going to be multiple parts. It's the first one. Okay?
Fun. Okay.
And I don't know if they're connected or not, because again...
Hey!
Guys, I don't listen to them, so...
We are just as surprised as you are.
So let us see what the fuck
Yes.
this is about. Okay.
Hey, Marcy and Betsy. This is Jessica. I wrote in a couple of years ago, I feel like. And you just read the story this year, 2024, on your podcast. It was about my cousin from Australia visiting. And then I had, after she left, I had this weird sleep paralysis encounter where my hands were being held, but the hands were like coming from opposite directions. It was real creepy and real nasty. But I have a couple of follow-up sleep paralysis stories that have happened this year. So this is like a couple years later. I'm living in a different apartment. And I had mentioned in that email that I haven't really had sleep paralysis as an adult, like here and there, maybe, I don't know, a total of 10 times since I was a teenager. When I was a teenager, I used to have it a ton. But yeah, so it's standing out to me that just in the last couple of years, I've had a couple experiences. But these last two have been really, really creepy. So the first one was like about a month or two ago, and I woke up and I had sleep paralysis, and then I saw to the right of me there was like, so on the right side of my bed, sorry, this is hard to explain, there's a window, so I just kind of like saw a silhouette of a stereotypical alien, like a gray alien, long, skinny body, big, like, oval head. I couldn't see its face. It was literally just, like, because, like, the light was coming from the street was behind it, and it was just standing there just kind of looking at me, or, like, it's facing me, I guess, but I couldn't, like, see its face. So I freaked out. I was able to calm myself down enough to get out of the sleep paralysis, but when I did, I just slept with the light on because, I mean, what else can I do? You know, it's like, so I don't know if it was like a visitation or just, you know, hallucination during sleep paralysis. But then I'd say about 2 weeks later, I just had to pause this recording. It is now the next morning. While I was telling that story, I was cooking and my kitchen light kept flashing on and off, so I didn't feel comfortable talking about any visitations or anything last night. So I'm feeling a little more comfortable now, still a little freaked out, but yeah, I'd like to clarify that alien being or whatever that I saw, it was in my room. It wasn't like outside my window. It was like in between my window and my bed, like just not exactly hovering over me, but like definitely close, like 2 feet away from me, just looking down at me, I guess. Yeah. So like I said, real creepy, real nasty. And then fast forward to about 2 weeks later, I'm laying in bed, falling asleep, and I can hear my dog walking around, like, you know, the sound of her nails like clicking on the hardwood floor. And I was just like, oh, whatever. And then I heard like snorting noises, kind of like a pig snorting, like when they're like sniffing in the ground and stuff. And like, I was like, huh, why is she making that weird noise? And then I realized I could hear her snoring. So it wasn't her walking around that I was hearing, because she was passed out on her dog bed on the floor, asleep. I just chalked it up to like me hearing stuff right before I was falling asleep, and I went back, I just closed my eyes and went back to sleep. And then, I don't know, like not even a few minutes later, I hear, and I'm going to try to make the noise. I can't exactly make it, and it's right in my right ear. And I hear something like breathing in my right ear, and it goes, it makes this noise. Like it's like gasping kind of, but like I don't know what it was. And then it starts speaking in this language that I don't understand. It didn't really sound like a human language. It almost sounded like Latin, but like not Latin. I don't know. Like it sounded very demonic though. And yeah, and there was like a lot of clicking, but not like tongue clicking. It was like a guttural clicking. I can't exactly describe what it sounded like. And it really freaked me out. Again, I calmed myself down enough to come out of the sleep paralysis, and I woke up, turned on my light, couldn't go back to sleep for a while. I saged my house after that, and it's been, like I said, it's been a couple of months, and I haven't had any more experiences, but those weren't fun. Anyway, thanks for listening. Sorry this was so long. I have a couple more. I will send them in a separate voice memo. Yeah, thanks. Bye.
Okay.
Gross.
Okay.
Gross.
We were talking through a lot of it, so I feel like, what did you say that sounded like?
Mama.
Mama.
From the movie Mama.
From the movie Mama. Also, like, I've seen movies, alien movies, where that is sort of how they're presented, right?
Yep. Ew.
And I got some real nasty chills when you were talking about the alien. Was it a visitation? And then when you stopped.
Oh my God, because your lights were flashing.
I always think of when I get legitimate chills about something, it's like, I take it as like my kind of like lie detector of being like, this is true. This really is. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, not that when I don't get them that it's a lie, but just like that it's something about it. It's like, oh no, this is fucking real. That's how I take it.
Ooh. I mean, and our bodies react to stuff, when something is up, our bodies are like, hey, extra alert. We're going to give you the goosebumps. Let's go. The old goosebumps.
And your titties grew, you said.
My titties grew. They got so scared they grew 10 times the size. Whoa!
It's like Dolly Parton right now.
yeah. That is... Ooh. Ew. The snorting... Oh.
And the pig snorting
spooky.
Latin.
The snorting, dude. And the... just the description of that... Your language, I was like, ew, it sounds like ancient.
Yes.
Ancient... Ooh, I'm glad this sage seems to be working.
Me too. Oh,
Ooh, you sound like it.
It was me. It was me.
It was Marcy whispering into your right ear.
Sometimes I like to go visit our listeners.
Yeah, and just scare them because we need more material.
Oh,
we
yeah,
should sell that movie.
Yeah,
we should write that TV show.
What would we sneak it? That it's called
that we sneak into our listeners' houses to scare them, so that they then send in their stories, so that our show could keep going.
Yes, it cost us a whole lot of money.
So much money,
flying
man.
around the country.
so much money.
Ugh. All right, I'm gonna play the second set of stories because they
from the same listener.
Yes, I mean, might as well.
Fun. Yeah.
All right, here you go.
Hi again. I have one more story that feels like it kind of goes with those two sleep paralysis stories. So I wanted to go ahead and send them together. This happened, I want to say in like 2018. I was on a trip to Boston with my friend, and he really likes to party. I'm an old lady, so I have like one day of party in me, and then I'm out for the rest of the vacation. So this was like the third night, and he's wild. He will go and stay out all morning and then be able to sightsee the next day, like all day, and like not sleep. And he's crazy. And he's not even on drugs. It's wild. We always say that he should be like studied. Anyway, I am on a tangent. So he is out. It is the middle of the night. I'm in our Airbnb in Boston. I'm waiting for him to get home. I know he's probably not going to be home for hours, but I just have this like feeling of dread. Sometimes I get it right before I'm going to have sleep paralysis. So I'm just waiting, trying to fall asleep, but then I don't really want to fall asleep because I have this like really bad feeling. And he finally gets home about 3:00 in the morning, and he goes to his room, he goes to bed, and I'm like, okay, I know nothing's like gonna happen to him. So like, that's not what the dread was for. I'm like, it's probably just gonna be sleep paralysis. I'll just deal with it. It's fine. I wake up the next day. I don't remember having sleep paralysis, but I do have puncture marks on both of my arms. Like, you know, when you get like an IV in the inside of your elbow, I had matching puncture wounds on both of my arms, and then 2 matching puncture wounds with bruises on both of my thighs. So I don't know if maybe I'm getting like abducted and like tested on or something. And like in my last story, I had that alien standing in my room, and then I had like a non-human like voice talking to me in my ear. So I don't know what's going on. I could also just be like mentally unwell. I don't know. I feel pretty normal though. So yeah, and I woke up the next day in Boston and I saw those things, and I was like in such denial that I just like, I remember looking at them and being like, nope, we're not even going to deal with that. Like my brain totally blocked it out. And it wasn't until I got back home, like the next couple days, I was kind of just like, what the fuck was that? Anyway, that's my story. Okay, bye.
What the heck?
This is wild.
It
really sounds like they're doing experiments on you.
Yeah.
Puncture, like IV wounds.
Wait, say it again.
IV wounds.
Unless it's like new school vampires who are like.
I did think vampires. I just read Dracula.
Oh yeah. Oh, you said it was great.
Dracula.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Oh
no.
This is so freaky.
Oh no, Jessica. Oh no. I want Jessica to get like a little home camera, and when you think you're going to have a sleep paralysis, like,
when you're having this dread feeling,
just to see, like,
because I wonder if like that dread feeling, like, are they near?
Because finish your thought.
That's kind of like, are they around? And so Jessica's kind of reacting without knowing. But even just that thought of like, I'll probably get sleep paralysis, where it's like, ooh, something's gonna happen.
I thought two things. One, is it that like, oh yeah, you're sensing something's near? Or two, is it anxiety that this is that you already experiencing because you're just anxious? Something else is going on in your life, and then you're manifesting it in your dreams.
Oh.
I couldn't say, and I don't know either one. It's just
I don't either.
The possibilities that
the waking up with that is so scary, especially like, you know, after not partying. Sometimes you wake up and you're like, uh-oh, and you're like, oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I fell down.
I went to the hospital and got double IVs because I,
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. This is all very familiar. Yes, it's all coming back to me now.
I thought it would be a good idea to punch a cactus. Okay, all right.
This is all coming back to me now.
Sometimes I have to say, sometimes it is a good idea to punch a cactus.
You gotta fight that fucker, especially if it hurts one of your friends. You have to get vengeance.
You gotta get vengeance.
Absolutely.
You gotta get vengeance. Whoa! Oh my gosh, Jessica, keep us updated,
please, and stay earthbound. Unless you want to go elsewhere.
Unless you're like, you know what? Get me out of here.
Can't be worse.
Get me out of here.
All right. Should I read a listener story?
Sure.
This one is a Funny Feeling Podcast listener story. Ant Bite Epiphany.
What? Okay.
I think I know what it's going to be about. Okay. Hi, Funny Feeling Pod. I love the show. I'm a long-time listener, and this is my first time reaching out to share a story. See, guys? This could be any of you. All of you could reach out for the very first time.
Reach out, share a story.
Please.
You remember that? Reach out, touch me.
Reach
out, share a story.
Your own personal paranormal.
That's good, dude.
Please, because we're flying all over the country. The least you can do is write to us.
Yeah, come on.
We're creating these situations.
We're trying to scare you guys. That was Marcy with the knife in that lady's house.
Yeah. Yeah, that I then went to dinner with.
Oh, weird. That's such a weird, scary moment.
Yeah, really freaky. Okay. Growing up in the late 90s, early 2000s, my dad would sometimes go out on weekend trips to participate in mountain bike races.
Cool.
When he wasn't participating in the races, he'd sometimes take my sister and I to help with the event activities.
Cute.
And it's nice. Since the races were set up around national parks, we'd spend the weekend camping in a tent, making a fire at night, s'mores / hot dogs / scary stories, the whole deal.
Nice.
That's cool.
That sounds fun.
Good dad. In late October 2004, the three of us packed the minivan and headed out into the Ocoee River State Park. Do you know Ocoee?
How you spell it?
Ocoee.
I don't know.
They gave me the pronounced Ocoee. Thank you for that so much. River State Park for the last mountain biking event of the season. This park is part of the Appalachian Mountain Range, and the campground where the race was being set up was about a 3-hour drive through winding mountain roads.
Oof.
I keep getting distracted because my roof dog is outside, and sometimes I just he's like really basking in the sun and being so
that
cute.
Is so cute.
I really love roof dog. Okay, so again, they're 3-hour drive through windy mountain roads.
Ooh.
The week before the trip, the forecast had been sunny with the high temperature in the low 80s, but the weather when we arrived was cold and rainy, so already miserable and muddy.
Yeah.
Then, as I trekked around the campground to awkwardly meet my dad's adult friends, I stepped into a mound of pissed off ants that had just had their hill flooded by the rain.
No.
I got so many ant bites that my foot grew too swollen to fit in my shoe.
No, that sucks. Gross.
A couple of Benadryl later, ya boy was getting pretty sleepy.
Yeah, that Benadryl will knock you out.
Oh my God, especially a couple?
Yeah, dude.
The rational and logical part of me says this next part is a result of the ant bites and Benadryl, but the intuitive and spiritual part of me trusts that it's real. I dreamed I was walking through the forest, my bare, swollen feet plodding through the mud. I heard a whisper behind me, and when I turned around, I saw a human figure looking away from me towards a blazing fire. I approached the figure and was greeted by a creature with the body of a person and the head and face of our family's golden retriever, Piper, who passed on.
Oh, my gosh.
She was the same Piper I'd grown up with, but much calmer and in total control of herself. She told me that she is my spirit guide and that communication between us will rarely ever be as clear as it was in that moment, but her guidance would be felt strongly through my intuition. Then she pushed me into the fire. I woke up in the back.
Yeah, come
Piper.
On. Bad dog Piper.
Suddenly Piper was out of control. I woke up in the back seat of the minivan, still tucked into my sleeping bag. I'd napped for 5 hours. My foot had returned to normal size, but my sleeping schedule was fucked for the rest of the trip.
Yeah.
All of this to say that the bad luck I had going into the trip still gave me comforting and a special message from beyond. And real or not, I got to make one more memory with a pet I loved so much. Thanks for reading my story and all the positivity you put into the world, D.
Oh,
D.
It feels like it is kind of the perfect time for Piper to come and say, like, don't worry.
Yeah.
Like you got stung by a bunch of ants and you're kind of messed up on Benadryl.
Yeah.
Now is the time to tell you I will be here for you.
Oh, I didn't.
Don't worry about it.
Didn't stop you in that case, but I will be here for you in the future.
Next time I'm sorry, I was sniffing an ass that smelled so good.
Now here, go get your ass burnt.
Yeah, now get out of here.
They burn your ass.
Wow.
Wow.
Piper. That's good. That's cool.
Yeah. Piper.
Wow, nuts, Piper.
Good dog name too.
Good dog. Okay, I have one. You ready?
Yes.
It's called Speaking to Papa.
Speaking to Papa.
Hello, Marcy and Betsy. My name's Raven. I'm a huge fan of the podcast. I've been listening since the beginning, like you only had a handful of episodes. And you guys have become a part of my everyday life, and I'm so thankful for it.
Aww.
Before I start, thank you. That's so nice.
Thank you.
Before I start, I want to start by giving a little background information. Papa Legba is a revered figure in voodoo, known as the gatekeeper between the physical and spiritual realms. He's a protector, guide, and mediator who opens the path to communication with spirits, offering wisdom and balance. Oh. Unfortunately, in American Horror Story, Papa Legba is misrepresented as a sinister, manipulative figure, which distorts his true nature. Oh.
That's good to hear.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember.
Was
it Coven?
It was in Coven in New Orleans. Yeah. But I think I feel like I've heard this before, and that they actually conflated him with some other
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, but I guess they just like the name Papa Legba. I don't know.
It's a fun name.
Yeah.
This portrayal is disrespectful to the voodoo faith, reducing him to a malevolent force of for shock value and perpetrating harmful stereotypes. Yeah, that's that show.
Yeah, because the pictures that I'm looking at of him online, he looks like a nice man with some dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
I'm trying to think who. Okay. I want to see American Horror Story.
Looking it up.
Yes. Okay. Sorry. I was trying to remember. Yes, I remember.
In other artwork, he just looks like a nice,
just like a cool dude.
Yeah, nice man with a pipe, and he's got keys, and he's friendly looking. He is kind of a dapper gentleman in some images.
In reality, Papa Legba is a figure of kindness and protection, not the demonic character shown in the series. His true role is to help, not harm, those who seek guidance. I will be jumping around a lot because some things are super private, so I made mini titles for each part of the session where I skipped so it's easier to understand. Okay, hold on to your dookie, because it's to get spooky. Well, some parts LOL. Here we go. I recently began building a deeper connection with Papa Legba. Setting up an altar for him in my room, the only personal space I currently have, felt like an important step. On it, I placed candles, rum, incense, tobacco, peanuts, and 2 personal items. A Martin Luther King Jr. pin with the quote, "There comes a time when silence is betrayal." Being the only biracial person in my family, I've often felt isolated when borderline racist jokes were made. Oh, shit. Though I never joined in, I felt pressured to stay silent to keep a quote-unquote brave face. That silence weighed on me, and in some ways, it felt like I was betraying myself and my ancestors. Whoa.
Wow.
And also a follow bracelet tracking a lion named Sarara. I know, weird, but I love her so much. I'm allergic to cats, and this is the closest I'll ever get to having one. So they put that bracelet on the altar. When I lit the candles and began using the spirit box to communicate with him, I felt an immediate calm and sense of reassurance I hadn't expected. At one point, the box said, "You're funny." Cool. It caught me off guard, but also warmed my heart. I'd been apologizing, worried that my offerings weren't enough, that I might be doing something wrong. Hearing that made me realize he appreciated my efforts and that perfection wasn't necessary for this connection.
Aww.
Okay, here's a new section, letting go of guilt. When I started thinking about Marcellus Williams, a man who was wrongfully convicted and executed despite evidence proving his innocence. Oh, God. The case has been weighing heavily on me since it happened. I felt like I had failed him for not getting the petition spread around fast enough to stop his execution.
So
it's been hard to...
this happened like not long ago.
Like pretty
recently.
September.
Yeah, Marcellus Williams. Yeah.
Getting the petition. Oh, yeah. It's been hard to shake the guilt of not doing more. I asked Papa if Marcellus was okay and that he be at peace. The spirit box replied, "Not here. Home." It was a moment of peace, as if Papa Legba was telling me Marcellus was no longer suffering. Although I'm still struggling with this, I find some comfort in knowing he's not bound to this earth anymore. A new section, acknowledgement of my dogs.
I will say this about Marcellus Williams. Like, he had some huge celebrities.
Yeah.
Like, trying to help him out. So, I mean,
yes.
if they couldn't get the word out enough, then, that judge wasn't going to overturn it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Ugh, what a fucked up system. Anyway.
Oh, God. Okay, this next section, acknowledgement of my dogs. Luna, my dog, had been barking in another room suddenly the spirit box says dog. At the time, I thought it was in reference to my other dog who had recently passed, so I asked if Daisy was okay while I couldn't hold back my emotions. I cried, overwhelmed with the love and loss I still feel for her. Though the spirit box didn't give a direct answer, I felt a sense of comfort and understanding.
Aww.
New section, Edgelord entity enters. The session wasn't without its challenges. At one point, darker responses began coming through the spirit box.
Oh.
Below, demon, and sinner, etc. I knew immediately these weren't from Papa Legba. The energy felt heavy, as if it was trying to scare me into ending the session, saying things like evil, father. I took it as it was trying to tell me Legba was negative, but instead of backing down, I stood my ground and shouted, "Papa is good, Papa is love, Papa is kindness. You will not oppress me anymore. I won't let you." As I spoke those words, I felt Papa Legba's presence strengthen around me. It was as if he was standing between me and whatever was trying to interfere. The spirit box even responded with, "Leave now," as though Papa was directly addressing the unwanted entity. In that moment, I felt empowered. I wasn't afraid anymore. I knew I was protected. Whoa. That's cool.
Very cool.
New section, the way the candle burns. The candles also behaved in ways that felt significant. The red candle burned faster than the others, while the green candle flickered and the yellow candle burned steadily, but at a slope. At times, the flames would shift in different directions as if reacting to the energy in the room. By the end of this session, I felt an overwhelming sense of peace and love. I thanked Papa Legba repeatedly, not just for communicating with me, but for the protection and humor he showed throughout. As I reflect on everything, I realize how much this session had solidified my connection with Papa Legba. Despite the challenges and interference from darker spirits, I felt empowered and loved, knowing he was there with me, guiding and protecting me. Thank you so much for reading my story. I was trying my best for it to flow. I hope it's not too confusing. Anyway, don't shit your pants.
Whoa.
Wow.
Now, it's so interesting, like with the type of divination tools like a spirit box or whatever, where like
yes.
You have some an entity or a spirit that you trust, like Papa Legba coming through, but then it also like does open up communication lines between something that wasn't great. So I would just say that's always something to keep in mind, that like it's harder to know exactly what's coming through sometimes.
Right.
And to be discerning. And
totally.
No matter what, I think this about any spiritual practice. Remember, life is for the living.
Hey.
And I sometimes, and I don't think this is what Raven is talking about. Like, I don't think that Raven is relying heavily on Papa Legba.
Yeah,
but
no.
My point being that, it's great to have guidance and find maybe a compass with these other things outside of ourselves, but to remember this is your life for you to live.
Yeah, and for Raven to be like, you better get out of it. Like, get out of here. And it like worked. Yeah. It's very good.
Yeah.
Because it's your life.
Don't let anything sway you too much. It's your life. Life is for the living.
Life is for the living.
Life is
I like
for
that.
The living. Ooh.
Ooh. Oh.
Also, setting the record straight. Putting some respect on Papa's name.
Yeah, I like that. I feel that, of course, it's been forever. Every single thing, you're like, actually, this is what really happened. You're like, oh, fuck, man. Okay, of course.
Yeah, it is really important to remember that when you're, telling stories about other cultures, it's probably pretty good to have that culture represented in the storytelling. Like, actually, not just your imagined version of it.
Right. Not just the version you learned in, like, Weekend at Bernie's or something. Too.
All right. I'm going to play another long one.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
Hi, Betsy and Marcy. My name is Meghan. I have some stories from my time as a touring musician. I have a couple from a few years ago that I've been meaning to send in, and then something happened a couple weeks ago that kind of forced the issue. So here we are. All right, so about 2 weeks ago, I was in LA to play a show. I came straight from Mexico City, where we had also played a show, so I was exhausted, and the rest of the band stayed at a hotel, but I stayed with a friend there just so I could be a little more comfortable and kind of take a break and be alone. And she spoiled me by cooking me dinner, so I was like, this is already worth it. And I slept like a rock. So I am like passed out. I knew she had to get up early for work, so I heard her in the morning, make coffee, walking around as you do, and I just kept sleeping. And then before she left, she came in, and I felt her kind of lean on the bed, lean over and give me a light kiss on the head, like I would do if my husband was sleeping and I was leaving. It was really sweet. I hadn't seen her for a bit, and we're really close. We used to be roommates and share clothes, and so it wasn't weird that she would kiss me on the head. It was super nice. So as the day went on, I was like, oh, that was so sweet. And then I kept going, and I was like, wait, did that happen? I mean, I was really deep asleep, but I, felt the weight on the bed. I felt it happen. I've never had sleep paralysis. So anyway, finally I texted her later in the day, like, hey, did you, by the way, kiss me when you were leaving this morning? She said, no, but I wish I did. Haha. And I said, half jokingly, only half joking though, girl, you have a ghost in your house. To which she wrote back, I just thought she would say, haha, it's possible. Sometimes there are weird sounds, but no one has kissed me yet. So my jaw kind of dropped when she texted that. So I don't know if the ghost took pity on my poor, sleepy, dirty, needing a break self and, gave me a little tenderness, which I appreciate. But yeah, so that was interesting. So the other stories that happened on a tour I did in October of 2022. So the first one was at this venue called Subterranean, which is in Chicago. It's been a music venue since 1995, but I looked it up. It was built in 1889, and it was a brothel and speakeasy originally. And let me tell you, that is the vibe when you get there. That's why I looked it up. You get there and you're like, what is this place? Like, gangsters have been here for sure. So it's just an interesting place. Like, we loaded up these stairs that were crooked, and everything is just like old wood, and it's really beautiful in there. And so after our set, I was kind of getting a funny feeling, titty line. And I asked, the promoter, the guy who runs the place, do you think this place is haunted? And he told me two different things. He was like, yeah. He said sometimes he gets an overwhelming feeling that he needs to leave. Just like a really strong, like, wow, I'm not wanted here. Like, I gotta go. So he described it as so overwhelming. So that's spooky. And then he said sometimes he'll be downstairs. It's 3 levels, and the stage level is the second of the 3. And he'll be downstairs, doing computer work or working after hours, like finishing up. And he'll hear the maintenance guy come and, vacuum and clean up and just do, what maintenance guys do. And then when the promoter is done with his work, he'll leave, and the maintenance guy is arriving. So he'll realize, holy shit, I was alone, but distinctly heard someone upstairs and just assumed it was the maintenance guy. So those were the 2 things that he told me that really stuck with me about Subterranean in Chicago. So if any Chicago people, maybe you've been there and gotten a similar feeling. So, we had some more shows. I didn't feel anything at any of the venues. And then I think about 5 days later, we're in Kansas City, Missouri at the Uptown Theater, which I looked was built in 1928. I think it was originally a movie theater. And it's a really unique looking place. It's beautiful inside. Like, all along the sides are like facades of houses. Like, it kind of looks like a village in there with windows and everything. It's beautiful inside. I recommend looking at pictures of it, the Uptown Theater in Kansas City. And as soon as I got there, I was like, whoa, there's something going on here. So I asked the stagehands who helped us load in, like, yo, who's worked here the longest? And I forget the guy's name, but let's call him Dave. And they said, oh, Hippie Dave has worked here the longest, which, first of all, I was like, okay, if he goes by Hippie anything, I need to talk to this guy. So I go to his little office next to the stage, which was just plastered in pictures and knickknacks. Like, he's clearly been there for decades. And so I said, Hippie Dave, like, is this place haunted? And he immediately said, oh, yeah, there's a ghost. Everybody calls him George, but I call him Jeffrey. Which, first of all, why does he have a different nickname for this ghost than everybody else? I don't know. I didn't pry. But he's just like, yeah, it's George. Like, there's an article about it if you want to read. So I go and look up this article because I was so curious. So I'm going to, I'll send you a link, but I'm going to tell you some highlights from the article. So yeah, it's a known thing. If weird stuff happens, and I guess the thing that employees hear the most are keys jingling, they say it's just George. So some examples and sightings was they have a spotlight room, like kind of up in the back to shine the spotlight from. Like I imagine is probably was where the projector room was in the back. Like I could see it from stage, like a little window. That an employee saw a man in there with a hat smoking a cigar and was like, who is in there? And went in, no one was in there. They weren't even using the spotlight for that show. So that was mysterious. They have heard knocking and then be like, hey, knock 4 times, 4 knocks, knock 2 times, 2 knocks, which kind of, makes you think, okay, well, it's definitely not an animal or something in the wall. I guess bands sleep there sometimes, which I don't think I would have wanted to do, but in the middle of the night, like the breakers will turn off and music will start blasting and lights will turn on. So they blame that on George too. And in the article too, there's a picture from a wedding where they caught on the picture like this kind of like swoop of light following an employee. So just a lot of spooky things have happened there kind of constantly. So I'm still there while I'm reading the article, and they haven't opened the doors yet, so it's pretty empty in the theater. So I just make it my mission. I'm like, I got to get up into that spotlight room. So I am going down every hallway. I'm opening every door. I am going up every staircase. Let me tell you, when you have a laminate and some confidence, you can really get anywhere. And I found like this whole wing of like green rooms that we weren't using. And I found like in one of the facades of the building, it was like a real balcony in like what looked like a fake house that you could watch the show from, which we end up going in later. Like I was finding all kinds of stuff, but I could not figure out how to get up into that spotlight room. So anyway, they open the door, so the theater starts filling with people, and I just, I give up my search. And then during our set in the beginning, I was having some issues. I play bass guitar. I was having some issues, I think, with like my pedal and just, electricity stuff. And so kind of quietly out loud, but I did say it out loud. I mean, there's music playing, like no one could hear me, but I said, George, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have come to look for you. I will leave you alone now. Please leave me alone. And while it wasn't the best that we've ever played, I think the issues stopped. Because it seems like everyone that works there just know he's there. They leave him alone, and I should have done the same. So that's my bad. So yeah, those are my 3 stories from touring. And thank you for the inspiration from the pod to ask about when you get that feeling. Just find out who's worked there a long time. I recommend that to the other listeners. It could lead to some fun stories. So yeah, I just want to thank you guys for the pod. You're the best. Bye.
Whoa.
Cool. What a fun thing to do on tour is just be like, you're at all of these awesome old theaters.
Yeah.
And to be like, tell me everything about them.
And again, always a great like icebreaker to be like, what?
Yes.
Oh man, that's so funny. Yeah.
Wow.
George. What a fun thing to do on tour, to be like, let's see what's haunted.
Yeah, looking up all the places and then asking for stories from Hippie Dave.
Wow.
I wonder why Hippie Dave called him something. What did he call him? Jeffrey? Or something. Not George. He did not call him George.
Oh. I forgot, Betsy. I did a Control-Alt find replace. Find replace.
Find replace George. Man,
we've always wanted, you and I, to be like, would it be cool if we could go around the country and go to all the haunted spots, but no one's paying us to do it.
We gotta do it. We gotta do it. We gotta get some money and do it.
These were great, you guys. Please.
Yes, thank you so much.
Please keep sending them to us.
Yes, please. We love them. You know that.
We just want more and more and more. We're so greedy.
We are so damn greedy when it comes to ghost stories.
We're disgusting.
We're awful.
Yeah.
We're awful.
We're little stinkers.
We're like we're like the 1% of ghost stories.
Absolutely.
We want more.
Yeah. Well, send it to us.
Please.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much for listening to A Funny Feeling.
If you have a paranormal experience that you would like to share, please send us a voice memo, or you can email us just a letter at funnyfeelingpod@gmail.com. I'm Marcy.
I'm Betsy. And don't shit your pants!
That was a HeadGum podcast.